Right, what I've got here is 5 different percussive loops, just chosen at random from one of my sample packs. And what I want to do is chop out little bits from each of them so that it creates a whole brand new and original loop that's got loads of life and energy. And at the moment you can see where these all stacked up, it's a bit of a mess because we've got loads of beats hitting on the same notes. So what I'm going to start to do is just individually have a listen and maybe pick and choose the ones that I think stand out nicely and will complement the rest. This first one actually, it's pretty sparse in itself. I'm going to keep it just as it is. Let's take a listen to the second one. Right, I'm going to chop out everything actually that plays at the same time as the one above it. So I'm just dragging and highlighting the area I don't want and then backspace to delete it. And this is going to be fairly straightforward. I think we're going to make parts have plenty of space each. Let's audition these 2 so far. Okay, so nothing really clashing at the moment, that's good. Let's head down to the third one, have a listen. Okay, let me just quickly listen to the first one and the second one again. No, I was looking for a kick, and we'll actually keep the kick on this. Let's actually get rid of that because it's a bit of a low noise. I'm not too fussed with it. It wasn't either a kick or a tom, I don't know what it was. It was annoying, so I'm chopping it. That's so that we can make proper room for this bigger kick here in this third one. That's a big enough, we're going to keep that. Let's bin this one off. So really I'm doing it quite visually here. Just get rid of that one there. Again, just taking out things that are overlapping. Obviously there's going to be points where some notes play at the same time, but as long as they're sonically quite different frequencies, they should be able to cut through okay. I'm going to leave those. If we did it literally the same for each, say, bar or each quarter of each bar, then it's going to get a bit too repetitive. So you want to keep it human-like and leave some elements in there that do hit at the same time. Let's take out those. Alright, let's audition these first 3 now. And again. There's just a little scramble down here I don't really like, so I'm going to bin off that. There we go. Let's actually make my loop brace the right length. Right, let's go to number 4. Right, lots of snares and skippy stuff going on there, and there's going to be loads of clashing, so let's bin off this one actually on the beat we don't want. And I'm going to repeat that for that one. And that one actually. I'm being pretty brutal here. You can always undo anything that you make a mistake with, of course. Sometimes mistakes are the best things. Let's get rid of that one as well. Okay, let's solo all of these. Alright, yeah, so it's sounding pretty alright so far. Not too bad. Right, let's check out the last one. Right, this one's pretty busy now. I think we've got enough claps and snares on the go, but what we will keep is a lot of the 16th hitting hats. They're always good to have in. Let's get rid of the bigger stuff. Just that one. Yeah, I'm taking out the ones. If you kind of take a little top-down view, you can see, especially on the one on the actual main beats, the 1, 2, 3, and 4, you don't want too many bigger transients hitting at the same time. It's just going to get all muddy and nasty and difficult to mix. And we can always do a bit of EQing to sort out some frequency space, and we'll get to that shortly. Let's get rid of that one as well. Just having a little top down view. You can see there's lots of stuff going on here, so I'm going to take out that one there. Okay, all right, let's audition all of them now. All right, not too bad. Now let's improve the sound of all of these. What I'm going to do is get an EQ and pop it on all of them. EQ8, trigger on the first one, and I'm going to copy and Command V, paste it on every single one of these. There we go. And then individually, let's have a quick listen again. Okay, let's take away the low rumble. Just boost on that low tom a little bit. Now the temptation can always, with percussion and hi-hats, bongos and things, is to put a load of high frequency, like increase it because it sounds bright and it sounds clear. If you did that on every single one of these 5, I'll tell you what, it's going to sound really, really scratchy and nasty and a little bit sharp on the ears. So absolutely, you know, increase brightness where you really need to, but do be careful. I always actually roll off a lot of the high end, and not only does that help take away the harshness, it also sets it back in the mix a little bit if it is quite a punchy, attacky sound anyway. So I'll probably do that on most of these. All right. Okay, let's move on to the next one. Yeah, so I can hear this is sharp and a bit cutting. See, that's much softer. It's still bright. It's still got the transients there, but it's not so sharp and harsh on the ears. All right, let's go to the next one. Now that sounds pretty crap, I'm not going to lie. I think it's the staccato effect. Some of these hits aren't lasting as much as they would, where I've chopped a little bit roughly. So I suppose in an ideal world I would spend longer making smoother cuts here and not so blatant, but it's for the video. This is all I've got to work with. Right, I'm not going to take any bottom out because we want that kick to punch. If anything, I brought the kick up a little bit there and just chopped out some of the scratchy rubbish at the top. All right, next one. I'm just picking out sounds and accentuating them if I like them, and dipping them right out if I think they sound a bit rough or harsh. I do actually find a lot on these sample packs, especially with percussive loops. I don't know if you guys have ever noticed this, but they're always really, really sharp and harsh at the top end. I guess, you know, they've been through a lot of processes with brightening and saturation and stuff. So do watch out for that. I think it's always worth a little bit of a low pass filter on there. All right, last one. Alright, okay, so let's hear what that sounds like now, just with a little bit of EQ in. Excellent, alright, now next stage we're going to do some simple panning. Generally with the lower frequency stuff, I keep it pretty near the middle. There's no need to pan your bongos out too wide. Well, I suppose it's subjective, really, you can do what you like. I'm just telling you this is how I generally work. staying right in the middle. And I'm making that about as wide left as I made this one wide right, you see. Okay, let's see what this sounds like now. It's nicely spread. All right, then what I would tend to do is make a group out of these. So shift click, then right click and group tracks, that's it. Let's call this perc group. Okay, and on here, I'm going to put a glue compressor on, just to tie them all together nicely. We want fairly late attack to let all those transients through. Short release so we're not compressing for too long. Big ratio so that we increase plenty of volume. Get all the volumes nice and even. I think when you've got a loop and it's got a kick in there, if you make sure that the needle is reacting to what I guess what you want to be the most driving element of the mix, and that probably, you know, in dance music is the kick. So if your needle's not moving in time with the kick, with the groove of the track, I think you probably want to remix a little bit more before you start compressing. Yeah, and that ties it together nicely there. And finally, let's put on a return track. I've got a little Waves True Verb setting on a return track here. This is a snare trap preset, which I use for snares, obvs, and as well as a little bit for general percussion, general drum hits. So let's bleed some of that into it. Now, I probably wouldn't normally have a kick involved in a loop like this, but because of the reverb as well, you know, and generally you want to mix that in separately. But, you know, just for the example here, I think it works quite nicely. So there we go. We've made a completely original loop. What we can do, take it even further, is clean this right up, is select everything on one line. Command J makes it a whole new clip. Let's do that for all of these, and then it's nice and tidy. Click at the beginning there. Oh, let's click and drag this time. Command J. There we go. Consolidated all those clips together. And now, you know, when you're writing a track, we can just select the whole of the group. Command D, duplicate out. And now we've got a nice 8-bar loop of everything. There we go. Hope you enjoyed that. Let me know if you did in the comments below. I'd be really keen to hear how you guys come up with loops and stuff like that, and how you make your tracks with percussion and drums and stuff. And if there's anything you want me to take a look at, please do put in the comments below. I always read them, so I'm all over it like a rash. So put it in there, and I'll see what I can do time-wise to help you out. All right, so enjoy your day, keep making loads of music, and I'll chat to you in the next one. Cheers.